All right, y'all. First and foremost, give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and his son, the Hamashiach Yahushua, who some call Yeshua, Yehoshua. We mostly know as Jesus Christ. All right, we've got a late night snack for you. It's gonna be a quick hitter, kind of on theme of what we've been talking about. That our righteousness is a filthy righteousness. Did a powerful lesson on Galatians 4. Um Helping us understand that. And we also have a parable here that Christ is going to give us in Luke 18:9 that we need to, it's very important that we understand this and that we're not operating as the Pharisee in this parable. We're going to Luke 18 verse 9. It says, and he spake this parable unto certain which trusted in themselves that they were righteous and despised others. All right, he spake this parable unto certain people who trusted in themselves. So we was talking about, don't trust in yourself. Don't trust in your works. Trust in the works of Christ. But he's giving this parable for those who trust in themselves that they can get themselves to the kingdom. That they can go up there with their own report and face that judgment from the Father. All right. He spake this directly to these people, these kind of people. And not only that, they trusted in themselves that they were righteous and they despised others. They always thinking they're more righteous than other people. And we have to, like I said, if we're operating in humility, we have to get that spirit off of us, thinking that we're more righteous than someone. It's one thing to deal with certain doctrines and so forth, but I can correct somebody on a doctrine, but that don't mean I'm more righteous than that person because I understand something better than that person in the text. That don't make me more righteous. So we have to be operating in humility. That's what we have to learn. And again, we talk about that the identity and how it puffeth us up. Well, we thinking we just scholars of the earth and that we're more righteous than anybody on the planet. And that's just, it's not true, man. Verse 10, it says, two men went up into the temple to pray, the one a Pharisee and the other a publican. And we have to two, even myself, when I say that, I have to look more into, and I may have to go to outside sources to see what, I understand the publican was going people's houses and people hate that tax collector dude. And I remember back in the day, I'm going to get my age, well, I'm in my 40s, so I'm going to tell you, I remember back in the day, where there was an insurance person that came to the house. I think it was an insurance man. But he was coming to that door to collect money, man. And jokers was hiding and ducking, cut the lights off. Don't you answer that door. Don't answer that door. He would pull up expecting a payment. I want to say it was the insurance man. Who was that? But I picture him being like the publican. All right, if you up there, let me know. You ain't got to tell your age. You gonna tell your age if you know what I'm talking about. But there used to be a person that their family used to run away from. When that joker pulled up in that car and was coming up to that door, everybody had to be quiet and shut everything off and pretend like no one's here. And I want to say it was the insurance man, or it was something else. Because I'm even thinking about what insurance are they paying? But it was some kind of bill collector came to the door. But I want to know the history on the bill collector because they were really despised. And see, just see how much they were despised and how people treated them during those times. But we know they're some of the most despised people, up there with prostitutes and such. Verse 11. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself: God, I thank thee, excuse me, that I am not as other men are, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as this publican. So he listened, and he doing pretty good. This is a pretty good report. He ain't an extortioner, if this is true. He's not an extortioner. He's not unjust. He's not no adulterer, you know. And he ain't no tax collector knocking on folk doors trying to get money. All right. Verse 12, I fast twice in the week. I give tithes of all that I possess. I fast twice in the week. And this was done traditionally. This we can find this in Josephus where he talks about this. I'm a find this and find the 2 days that they actually did this, but Israel was fasting twice a week. Traditionally, you know, that was a custom. Not that it was law, but it was a custom that they were doing, that they were fasting. Some of them were fasting twice a week. But he's bragging, and he's boasting in this. I give tithes of all that I possess. And the publican standing afar off will not lift up so much. Now he's talking about the publican now. All right. And I give tithes to all I possess. I thank thee. And he said, I'm just grateful that you ain't make me as unrighteous as this darn publican next to me. Unrighteous as these other folks around me. And, you know, when you're coming into prayer, man, you need to be humble. You need to be humble. Understanding that somebody should slap your face off like you're asking somebody something that you done stole. That's how I feel like before I start praying. Like I feel like I'm asking somebody something that I stole something from. I'm asking somebody something that I disappointed. And so when I'm praying with all humility. And just, I'm grateful. Grateful you haven't destroyed me. Grateful you still using me. Grateful you've still been a protector and a refuge for a sinner. Grateful you sent your son for a sinner. You ain't sinner when, anyway, don't make me start getting into it, but you want to be humble. You want to be humble when you come into the Lord. Where we at? Y'all know I be losing my place. Verse 13. All right, and the publican standing afar off. The publican didn't even go up to the altar. The publican was still in the back. The publican was still ashamed. Like, you know, and that too reminds me of the centurion saying, hey, man, you ain't even got to come in, man. I'm not even worthy of you coming into my house, bro. Come on now. I'm not worthy of you coming in. I'm not even worthy to go up there. I'm in so much humility, I'm trying to whisper this thing from the back. Publican standing afar off would not lift up so much as his eyes to heaven, but smote upon his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. You know, it's something about that. It's something about that throughout history. It's something about that chest beat throughout history, letting you know what I'm saying is from the heart. It's from the heart. Man, be merciful on a sinner. Man, be merciful on. How many of us praying like? How many of us saying, Lord, be merciful on a sinner? How many of you starting your prayer off like that? So you get to asking and wishing and want him to move for you. How many of us starting to pray out like, Lord, be merciful on me? I know you see me down here just not doing what you told me to do. I know you see me down here. I know I can do better. I know you see me. Be merciful on a sinner. Verse 14. I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. Who went down justified? The man who beat his chest and said, God be merciful. The one who thought that he can do all of this stuff on his own, and he fasted twice a week. He tithed everything. He wasn't an adulterer. He thought that he was like, I hate my brothers to call my brothers, man. I keep the law perfectly. Bro, no, you don't. Then you said holding on to them ZZs. Talking about you keep the law perfectly. We don't even know if we supposed to be wearing the ZZs or the fringes we getting from Hobby Lobby and the blue ribbon. Do we tie the ribbon on there? Do we make the ZZs out of the fray of the garment? We so far removed from Jerusalem. How in the world we got enough pride to say we keeping something perfect? We gotta be operating in humility, man. We gotta be operating in humility. Y'all know I'm trying to find the verse. Verse 14. I tell you, this man went down to his house justified. We was talking about the justification in the Galatians 4. All right, don't let because it's your favorite group and you think I'm talking against your favorite group. Listen, you don't have to leave an organization because of doctrine. You just need to correct the doctrine. If they won't correct you, you'll at least correct it for yourself, but you can still fellowship. Brothers ain't got to become enemies because of doctrine. But we gonna correct that doctrine. We gonna talk about that dog. We gonna talk about that Bible, y'all. We gonna get some understanding on this text. Now, I tell you, this man went down justified rather than the other. For everyone that exalteth himself shall be abased. What are we talking about being abased? We ain't being brought down low. Everyone who exalted himself, understand, man, this thing is different. It's not the way of the world. It don't operate like the world. Yeah, you can do all of those things. Like you can boast and do all of those things in the world and get on YouTube and talk about you got this, you got that, you got this going. Y'all this when we this and we doing that and we perfect doing this and do that. And the world will exalt you. The world will give you 1 million viewers. The world will give you the money and the riches. But when you face that judgment, you'll be abased. You'll be abased. Those operating in humility, those will be the ones that will be brought up. Those are the ones that will be exalted. Those are the ones that will receive the crown. Those will be the ones that will have their garment undefiled. All right, those that exalt themselves shall be abased, and he that humble himself shall be exalted. All right, so you always should be operating in humility. Even when somebody else trying to puff you up, you should be operating in humility. I ain't nothing. I'm just a vessel, man. I'm trash. I'm nothing. Praises go to the Most High, man. We pray this thing was edifying. Y'all be blessed, man. Y'all enjoy your Shabbat. Y'all willing, I can do 1 or 2 videos. It's been a rough week, man, so I'm probably gonna definitely get some rest. But when them eyes open, man, we getting back to the word. Shalom, y'all. We'll see you on the next one.